Hi there, I'm Graham Beadle and welcome to the very first episode of Demon's Pit. You may now be saying, what do you mean first episode? We've already watched two. Well, we originally meant to call this Demon's Pit, but on the first episode I was a tad nervous. So when I meant to say Demon's Pit, for some unknown reason I said Demon's Lair. So here we are, we've rebranded, we've got a nice spanking new website courtesy of my co-presenter Jack Lawrence, and we'll be talking rubbish like we normally do. So first up today, we're talking about yesterday's This Is Progress March of Progress show. I'm joined as per normal by my co-presenter Jack Lawrence, and we're talking This Is Progress, as we just said. Amazing show yesterday. So the guys there followed up their first event, which was, widely talked about on Twitter, with something, equally as impressive. Just want to say, we've got a wonderful shirt on here. This was drawn by one of our shop regulars, and the guys at Progress, www.progresswrestling, I'll get the website right this time, .com. They're available from them, but it's a fantastic design drawn by Mark Pilbeam, as I said, one of our shop regulars. Right, and Jack, what did you make of the show yesterday?
Amazing. It's my first. You were at the first one.
Yep.
I couldn't make the first one. I'm kind of a big deal, so I have other commitments. But I was able to make it last night's, and fantastic, brilliant show.
However, I'm guessing the first match wasn't to your liking. We had Styx up against Lion Kid. Now, I've sorted Lion Kid twice on this weekend, and he's really upped his game. He's, you posted and stated beforehand that you didn't think he'd have a chance against Styx, that he'd get crushed. But he was out there. He was throwing himself around.
Definitely out there. Plot is further lost.
Well, you say that, but in the day, he's a small guy. He's got to use every advantage he's got, and his advantage is speed. Now, Styx, when he got hold of him, did a fair amount of damage, but I thought Lion Kid really put his body on the line and was outstanding yesterday.
There's no taking away from it. He is a good wrestler. He's not 100% stable in his mind, clearly. All that Styx was quite right to tell the crowd that they looked like a bunch of idiots. I mean, they look like a bunch of idiots anyway. But all of that business, what are you, 5?
You didn't think that the Daniel Bryan bit with the rah rah rah. I mean, come on,
get some originality, people.
But anyway, nonetheless, my boy got the win.
Yeah.
So you've really got nowhere to go on that one. I mean, Styx, don't be wrong, Styx impresses me. Every time I see the guy, he does impress. He's got amazing mobility for a big guy. Just, as per normal, I have issues with his sense of fair play and his disrespect of the people that, in the day, paid good money to go and see
disrespect. And what he gets in the ring, a fantastic specimen of manhood. And what do they say? Shave your chest. I mean, seriously, and maybe that's why he didn't get the win, because the crowd were 100% against him the whole way, because they had Kitty Cat to look for. Oh.
Okay, well, we got another animal in the next one. Wild Boar making the trip from Wales.
Yeah, he was better.
Against Mark Andrews. So with White Lightning. I had never seen Mark Andrews. I was really looking forward to the event. I'd never seen him wrestle other than on DVD, and it always impressed me when I'd seen him. So it was a real treat, and he didn't let us down on that score. He high flying and some quality technical wrestling. Wild Boar was quite brutal and very basic in his attacks.
Very exciting to
watch.
watch.
How Andrews ever kicked out of that small package, the package power bomb thing.
That was amazing. I thought his head had come off. It hadn't, unfortunately. But amazing. What a fantastic move. And the power. I mean, he's not a big guy, Wild Boar.
No, he is. He's kind of like a
junkie.
dwarf.
And maybe that's where his power is. He's that short frame, but sturdy, and he just was throwing that kid left, right, and centre. Absolutely brilliant. Didn't get the win though, did he?
No. I mean, you were pretty disgruntled over the first two matches.
I was. Yeah. I thought I'd wasted my time, to be honest.
I mean, Mark Andrews. I mean, we thought we were going to see another one of those power bombs, and that would have been done for. But he managed to turn it around, roll it up, little small package pin, and great stuff. And he, throughout, excelled. I mean, I know I'm not going to get you to agree with me, but he was something else. I'm really pleased that he's coming back for the next show. him and Xander Cooper. Xander Cooper came in, after the match and sort of kicked off a little bit. I mistakenly called the wrong chart and made myself look stupid.
It's
easy.
not the first time, is it? I'm sure it won't be the last.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him back.
I'm looking forward to that match because, I mean, Wild Boar, fantastic wrestler and very, very brutal, but not the brightest spark, is he? Whereas Xander Cooper, he's got a brain in his head. He's a fantastic wrestler again, and he's got a brain in his head, and I think Andrews is going to have...
Well, talking bright sparks, your brightest spark coming up next, as you informed Jimmy last time, Noam Dar being your current favourite. I'm going to let you start, so you can sort of, wax lyrical about how amazing he is.
What can you say? I mean, he's just, from the moment he comes out, the charisma is just pouring from him. He's amazing. He's amazing, and he couldn't care less what the crowd is saying to him. They were shouting all sorts of filth at him, and he couldn't care less. Water off a duck's back. I've got so much respect for the guy. And he was against Daryl Allen.
Yes.
Barely ever remember that kid's name. And pretty much wiped the floor with him.
Yeah, Daryl Allen. I like Daryl. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of heart, but he did look outclassed in this one.
He was outclassed, 100%.
So, I can't actually argue with you, and I hate that. I really want to be able to say that, but Daryl didn't seem... I think he was tired from the night before. I mean, he took an absolute beating the night before in a tag match. The Bangor Knights were up against Jimmy and Yestin Reese over in IPW the night before, and he took an absolute pounding in that one. So I'm going to put it down to the fact that he got the win the night before by showing, like I said, masses of heart, and I think he was just worn down. So that's why I think...
If you can't stand the heat, stay out the bathroom.
That's not right, surely.
What's the next item?
Okay. Your favourite, I mean this obviously tongue in cheek, other than Mr. Havoc. Him and trainer Danny Garnell. Now, you normally like Danny.
Yeah, I do. Well, I do. We did. I know that he was because he's been training Jimmy Havoc, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was all part of the Book Havoc campaign.
Yeah,
trying to get Jimmy away from his hardcore tendencies.
Yeah, yes, Danny wasn't as vicious as I like to see him last night, but it crept through.
Yeah, there was a couple of suplexes in there that threw,
and a couple of times you could see the anger in his face, and I thought we were going to see the old Danny Garnell, but to his credit, he was there to do a job. He was there to he's trained Havoc, which must have been a thankless task, and then he's followed that through and given Havoc his first. I mean, I was surprised that the boy can even wrestle, because from what I've seen of him, that came as a complete shock to me.
There was, as we saw on the training montage, and also in the match itself. I mean, there was some great, move to finish up in the crossface crippler from nowhere on a couple of occasions.
Yeah,
I mean, the tilt one. So yeah, he really showed some agility and some some quality. There was a little bit of chain wrestling in there at one point. And apart from the fact that he got thrown around a couple of times, Danny really did take it to him on a few occasions. Like I said, the massive suplexes twice, putting on his head, and also he got tipped up onto the ropes, something chronic.
And that was where I thought we were going to see Danny, go back to the form that I love to see.
But Danny still got the win.
He did, yeah.
Jimmy, however,
well, Jimmy was never going to beat Danny Garnell.
I mean, Jimmy. Well, you say that. I mean, he's booked for. Okay, he didn't know, but he's booked for the next show. He's got a chance to keep on developing these skills that he needs to be able to hang tough in the This Is Progress federation. I think we'll see something really big from it. I think Jimmy could be in a short period of time could be showing out with the big guys in Progress. I mean, he's up against Dar in a few weeks' time in FPW.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So but yeah, I think he's there to stay.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, then we had a brief interval, which allowed us to get some drinks, which second mortgage was required. That's the downside of the venue there, the garage. £9 for 2 beers, guys. That's a little bit much for 2 bottles of beer.
London.
That's not an excuse.
Oh, well, that was not an excuse, but it's the one they use.
Personally, having to go to London, I think they should lower the prices.
Us.
Velocity Vipers and London Riots. London Riots, big dudes, let's be honest, powerful dudes. Velocity Vipers, as their name would suggest, very quick. The match was a little bit one-sided. I thought the Velocity Vipers did their very utmost to hang in there. They, you know, whenever they had the opportunity to use their speed, they did. There were some very impressive high-flying manoeuvres, but the London Riots just had too much experience
and power. The power. I mean, swiftness is all well and good, but you only need to get caught round the throat by someone of that size, and where are you going to go?
I mean, we have got some very bad news about that match. One of the guys from the Velocity Vipers, Alex Ishmael, unfortunately suffered a rather horrendous injury in the match whilst taking a move from the guy from the London Riots. He broke his leg in 2 places and will be out of action for 6 to 8 months. So get well soon, Alex. I hope things recover and everything gets back to back to normal for you. So it was a good showing, great showing, and it's a real, I really hope that this doesn't put your career back in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, anyone who says wrestling isn't dangerous should go to that kid's bedside and have a word with him, because you could see it was bad.
Triple threat match. El Ligero, the man from Mexico from the first event, put a great showing against Noam Dar in the first event. Greg Burridge with his furry dice, and Bhangra Knight's RJ Singh with his full entourage of followers. What did you make of the match?
I was actually I wasn't expecting much, because you've got Ligero. Ligero, great wrestler, but I've not been impressed with his pandering to the crowd in the past, and following what the crowd clearly want him to do. Burridge is another one of these comedians. The whole fairy dice thing.
Burridge is awesome. Sorry, Burridge is the British Colt Cabana. He's superb. He entertains. He's huge. He's powerful, quick. He's got everything you need for the ring. At the end of the day, sometimes I agree. Sometimes the fun and games can get in the way. But to me, on the British scene, he's one of the top guys there. I mean, if I was going to be booking a card, I'd want him on it.
Right? Would you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the look, the charisma.
Well, regardless, you had those two against RJ Singh, who I've got a lot of time for. Especially last night, he seemed to come out and he seemed to want the win, but there was a bit of ganging up at the start, and that I thought it was going to go not go very well. But then we had a bit of a turn towards the end, didn't we?
Yeah, both here and later on in the show, which we'll discuss. El Ligero and Burridge. Burridge seemed to get under the skin of Ligero.
Yes, he did.
Which is part and parcel of what he does with people. Certainly with his feuding in FPW with the Warden, it's been the case. Ligero seemed to take a bit of a harder edge during the course of the match.
And I tell you what it is. There was that whole ridiculous situation with Burridge instigating the little kick taps on the leg, which everyone thought was absolutely hilarious. And Ligero, because of the way he's kind of fallen in with what the crowd want,
he went along with it, didn't he?
He went along with it, but I think he felt that he was being dragged along with it. He's a fantastic physical specimen, clearly a dedicated wrestler, and here he is trading little kick taps with that idiot. I think it just occurred to him what was actually going on and how much of an idiot he looked, and I think he's had enough.
Well, he finished up, getting the win and becoming the #1 contender for the Progress staff. Now he's obviously
Burridge, poor loser, was moaning at the crowd about Ligero pulling the pants. I didn't see that. Did you see that? In all honesty, did you see that?
He did seem to have a handful of the trunks to me.
No, I didn't see that.
So it was a rare thing. I've never seen devious machinations from Ligero before, so it'd be interesting to see.
I haven't got a problem with it. I honestly didn't see it. I haven't got a problem with it if he's done that, and I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him actually get a bit of a ruthless edge and start taking people.
You had your heel blinkers on, as per normal. We have the final match on the card. Nathan Showstealer Cruz.
This was who I came to see.
And then Marty
Sunbed. Captain Sunbed.
Marty Skrull. Party Marty, if you like.
I don't like.
Well, we've established this. However, you know, there's no takeaway from the fact that in the current, you know, British wrestling scene, Marty is probably, you know, winning belts left, right, and centre. He's one of the top guys, if not the top guy, with, you know, Zack out of the country, and they were taking part in a best of 3 falls match, which Marty got the early lead. There was a lot of good exchanges between the two. Cruz, you know, impressed me. He's brilliant. You know, he really did use every letter of the law, although not breaking it that much, apart from just the once towards the end. But I said Marty got the one up with the torture rack dropping into the lung buster. You know, his good night move that he does.
Yeah.
Then it went on for quite a while with a bit of out of ring action. Cruz was basically taking Marty out, laying down some beat down, then dragging poor old Chris Roberts back to the ring.
Very clever strategy that unfortunately didn't pay off.
You know, trying to get the 10 count. Marty had a bit of help from the fans on that one.
Yes. See, now, disqualification, immediate as far as I'm concerned. Outside interference.
But he, you know, he got back in the 10 each time. But then, you know, Cruz got the power driver for the second fall, so I'd make it 1-1. What did you think at that point?
Didn't Marty milk that, getting back up on his feet?
Well,
Did you notice after the first fall, when Marty got Nathan Cruz, I wanted Cruz to stay down. I was yelling at him to stay down for a bit, but you know, for tactics. But no, the man has got heart and pride, and he was up on his feet, you know, as quickly as he possibly could. With Marty, I heard Roberts saying to him, "I've got to start the match again. You've got to get on your feet."
But he did get to his feet. He did get to his feet and got back in the match. I mean, he needed a breather. He had taken a blow to the head. He needed a breather. There's nothing that says he can't. It says the match doesn't restart till both men are on their feet. So he did that. He used the letter of the law. So they interchanged. They were, you know, going at it again. Marty kind of getting the upper hand, and then we had interference. We had interference, first of all. I thought Ligero coming to Marty's aid, which I wouldn't have been happy with, because I don't like outside interference in any way, shape or form.
Okay.
But it wasn't the case. Ligero came in, super kicked Marty, whether it was intentional or accidental.
Who cares?
Who cares? I care.
Yeah.
The rightful winner of the staff
was Nathan Cruz.
Well, yes, as far as the 1, 2, 3 at the end is concerned, yes.
He walked away with it.
However, the best man did not win. The best man was knocked out by outside interference.
That's a sweeping statement. The best man is the one who goes away with the staff.
And doing rather lewd things to the staff on the way back.
Well, he got a lot of stick from the crowd during. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised he did lewd things. And it was no more lewd than the things the crowd was shouting at various wrestlers, left, right, and centre, or Greg Burridge. I mean, Greg Burridge turned the air blue.
Yes, Greg Burridge did turn the air blue.
However,
he was right. He was, you know, it was rightful indignation, I thought. Right. So, as we said, we haven't got a bad match described there. Really,
no.
we had you know 6 matches, all of which were 7 matches. Sorry, all of which were outstanding. So you know, we're really happy with the event.
Yeah, really, really
and
good.
looking
Very
forward
hard,
to the next one. So if you need to, the tickets for that go on sale on Wednesday for those people that follow Progress Wrestling, and that's for a 3-day exclusive, and then after that go on general release. So check in at www.progresswrestling.com for more information. We'll be back in a moment.